When I first laid eyes on the 1970s gray model SC77 steam-powered tractor, I wasn't entirely sure if I'd bought a classic piece of machinery or just a glorified pile of metal waiting to collapse. It had rust in places I didn't know could rust, a boiler that looked like it hadn't seen steam since disco ruled the world, and a smell. Oh, the smell! Let's just say vintage would be putting it kindly. But hey, everyone needs a challenge, right? And this one was screaming my name, literally. The boiler let out a whine every time I touched it. Step 1. Cleaning. Sounds easy? Think again. Getting this thing clean was like scrubbing the Statue of Liberty with a toothbrush. The soot and grime were so thick, I swear it had become part of the metal's DNA. But as I chipped away, I started to see glimpses of that iconic gray paint. It was like uncovering a fossil, except instead of a dinosaur, it was a 40-year-old tractor. Next came the parts. Oh, the parts! Finding replacements for a steam tractor is like looking for a needle in a haystack. If the needle was also 50 years old and spoke an outdated mechanical language. When I finally found the right safety valve, it felt like winning the lottery. I hugged that thing like it was my long-lost sibling. Painting, though, was the most satisfying. That first stroke of gray paint over the cleaned-up chassis? Pure magic. It was like watching the tractor come back to life. Of course, I got more paint on myself than the actual machine, but hey, battle scars of a restorer, right? And then it happened. After weeks of sweat, tears, and an inappropriate amount of swearing, I pulled the lever and the boiler hissed to life. Steam puffed out of the chimney, gears began to churn, and for the first time in decades, the SC77 roared like a sleeping giant waking up. I stood there, covered in grease, grinning like a kid who just discovered candy grows on trees. It was loud, messy, and utterly beautiful. The first ride was everything I imagined and more. As the wheels turned and the steam whistled, I felt this incredible connection to history. Sure, it wasn't fast or fancy, but there's a certain romance to feeling the rhythm of a machine that you brought back to life. It wasn't just the tractor that had transformed. I had too. I learned patience, grit, and that nothing worth having comes easy. Restoring this steam tractor was a wild ride, but man, was it worth it. So, here's to giving old machines, and maybe ourselves, a second chance. Because sometimes, the most broken things are the ones with the best stories to tell.